Hello, friends. I hope everybody is doing great today. My last video, I talked about mental health on weight loss medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and I want to delve a little bit more into this topic because I feel like it's really stirring a lot of emotion for people. And I want to preface this video by saying, I'm not a doctor. I'm simply Anna McKenna. If you're new here, great. Hi, how are you? Welcome to our community. And I'm not a clinician. I'm not any sort of mental health provider, but I do want to talk a little bit about my journey in particular and some of the navigating that I've done with my own mental health and some of the ways that I have overcome and kept the weight off so far. So if you have lost any amount of weight on Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, or through any weight loss program, you might be thinking about, all right, so I lost all this weight. What is next for me? What am I doing next? And I think that this is something that has been coming up quite a bit for me because I'm like, okay, I lost over 50 pounds. I still have a little bit more to go. But I need to really dive into what's next in terms of keeping this weight off and what is next for me in terms of lifestyle. And I think it's really important that everybody thinks about this, whether or not they're to their goals, because the most important thing is, how did you get to the spot where you needed a weight loss medication to lose a massive amount of weight? What got you to that point, right? It's something that I've been thinking about quite a bit myself because I don't want to go back there again. And I think there's a number of reasons, and I've talked about them in some of my videos, so I hope that you'll go back and check them out. But I talked about growing up with the clear the plate mentality. I talked a lot about the pandemic and the fact that I was really under a lot of stress. I talk a lot about the fact that I have Hashimoto's disease and thyroid conditions, but I think it goes a little bit even more deep than that. I think it's important to acknowledge that mental health is a big part of people's journey to putting on a lot of weight. Some people have genetic disposition to weight. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but I do also think that sometimes our life circumstances and how we respond to them can really be important in making sure that that weight does not come back on. We do not want the weight to come back on, right? It got us to a point where we were super unhealthy, super depressed or anxious. It just wasn't an overall wellness for ourselves. So I think if we can acknowledge that first, that is the most important thing we can do. We can say a lot of things sucked that led up to me putting on a shit ton of weight. And I literally got to the point where I need to get a doctor to prescribe to me a weight loss medication so that I'm able to drop massive amounts of weight. Some of you may have explored or even gone through gastric surgery, gastric bypass sleeves, whatever the case. And I think for me, for my next part of this journey, as I continue to not only keep the weight off, but lose a little bit more, I need to be thinking about what my lifestyle looks like for me and have a no shit approach to what got me there. What am I not doing to get back to that? I never want to go back there. So how am I going to change my life? And there's a few things that I'm going to share with you. I hope you'll stay till the end because I'm curious to get feedback from you guys as well on what you think. So stress has been a big part of my life for at least the last 20 years. Kind of kicked off with some combat experience in Iraq that really changed my life and I think triggered some of my hormonal imbalance, my thyroid condition, and that prompted some adrenal failure and Hashimoto's disease. And I think that happens. I think traumatic brain injury can prompt some of that. There's been some really great research done on how that all is connected. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what I've read and had some discussion with my providers about. And stress has been a big part of it. And so, yeah, I want to be super healthy and super fit, But I am realizing that prior to my weight loss medications, I was working out doing cardio like a mad woman and lifting crazy heavy weights, and I wasn't moving at all on the scale. Some of it was, of course, related to my nutrition and my portions, but a lot of that was just my body was in a standstill, almost like catatonic state of not moving, of being constantly on high. And I think that that's probably the way to say it, like constantly on high, adrenaline, constant. And I never was able to like get my cortisol levels right, bring down my stress levels so that I could focus on wellness, right? So that's been something that I am like, that's next for me. Yes, I would love to lose roughly another 20 to 30 pounds, but I am approaching this just like I have throughout this whole journey in terms of wellness. And what does that look like for me? So I'm lowering my stress. The next thing I'm going to work on is sleep. I'm one of those people, my son is too. I'm one of those people that needs at least 7 hours of sleep. Or I don't make good food choices. I don't make good decisions on like many levels. I don't drink enough water. I feel constantly tired during the day. It's just a lot of my body trying to catch up when I don't get enough sleep. There have been so many sleep studies done on the importance of sleep and how it's directly related to not only weight loss, but overall wellness as a lifestyle. And that is something that I'm continuing to focus on as well. So my sleep is going to be super important. Lowering my stress level during the day, getting great sleep at night. I'm a scroller at night. I like to kind of catch up on Twitter and the news and see what's all going on. And I'm really going to be headed into this next chapter trying to disconnect a little bit earlier so that my mind is able to relax and I can get like a full night's sleep. The other thing I want to talk about is movement. Movement for me, I told you a couple minutes ago, I was on the treadmill running to high heaven, just like killing it. 30 minutes minimum, gotta do HIIT, gotta raise my blood or raise my pulse, keep it going, bring it down, run again. It was just so intense all the time. Like so intense all the time. Lifting super duper heavy, like killing it. You know, I'm a big girl and I'm strong. And I loved that feeling of lifting heavy, like real heavy. I actually started that on a last deployment with a battle buddy of mine who I love. And that's something I want to do. I want to continue to lift heavy, but I do want to knock down some of the intensity of it. I am working on walking and trying to get in a certain amount of steps in every day, being kinder to my body, not necessarily having to like kill it on HIIT or, you know, make sure that I'm doing cardio 5 days a week for a minimum of 30 to 45 minutes. Like I'm not doing that. I am going to move my body every day. I have my Apple Watch right here. I try to get in my steps. On my treadmill, I put a desk so that I feel productive during the day and that I don't feel like I'm losing an hour just by walking. And that has been, I think, a really good addition to what I'm doing to just like bring it down a level, but keep it going. And I will continue to integrate weights into my workouts as well. The last thing, of course, is the biggest piece when we're talking about weight loss is nutrition. Since I started this journey, my approach was always like, I'm not cutting anything out. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm only gluten free and I'm not going to eat any cheese. I continue to have a long-term forest through the trees approach on this. I want to eat what I want to eat. And I want to go in with a very thoughtful but non-restrictive approach to eating. And I talk about this in some of my videos as well. Like I wanted to go out to dinner with my friends and not be the only one that had to have like the driest salad on earth because they were all skinny and I was the big girl. So it's just a lot of being thoughtful about what I'm eating and being deliberate about making sure I'm getting protein in and not just having a free-for-all. After a while, the medication seems to not suppress as much. And so while it is suppressing you, you need to make sure that you are training your mind to kind of exclude that food noise and really think about how you want to live long term with your nutrition. Like, how do you want to eat for life? Think about fueling your body, thinking about not cutting anything out or depriving anything from your life that you like. Like, I love an ice cream. Like, I just do. Lisa calls it an old man special because it's just simply vanilla ice cream with a little bit of caramel. That's like, I love those. I'm not cutting that out. Like, we're here on earth once, as far as I know. And I want to enjoy my food, and I want to enjoy those things in life. But I want to do it in a way that is overall part of a lifestyle for me. And so now I get a tiny kids one. That's enough for me. I would have never have done that a year and a half ago. I would have gotten a large, polished it off, and probably dipped into my son's. And it's been a year and a half of training myself, of really being thoughtful about how I want to eat as like a normal person. And so nutrition has really been a big part of my thoughts about moving forward with this medication. So, you think about stress, sleep, movement, and nutrition. My mental health is best when I'm organized and practical about how I am taking care of my body. That is how I have been the most successful on my medications over the last year and a half. And it has not been always easy. I don't do the same thing every day. I crave routine, but that's not my life. And so I think utilizing like my calendar, utilizing my Sunday nights. Lisa and I go over what we're going to have for dinner every Sunday night. So she does a lot of the cooking, bless her, and puts it all kind of together for us. And I'll say, listen, I got to be eating a little bit more protein. She made an awesome halibut last night. It was like divine. With some rice. I'm eating carbs and some veggies. Like, that's how I'm trying to eat. That's how I'm trying to live my life. That's how I keep this lifestyle going. The frantic, unhappy, crazy, not getting enough sleep, my adrenals being high all the time, that is not how I'm going to be successful. And so moving forward, past this medication, however long I'm on it, I might be on it indefinitely. I don't know. But it is part of an overall approach to wellness. And I don't think that we're spending enough time on that. I don't want you to think like, well, once I lose my 80 pounds or once I lose my 100 pounds, like everything's going to be perfect. Everything's going to be good. I'm going to be like back on the Victoria's Secret runway. Like, that is not sustainable. What got you to that point? What got you to the point where you are 100 pounds overweight? 80 pounds overweight, 50 or 40, however it is, that made you so unhappy with yourself, that prompted you and your healthcare provider to say, like, let's give this a shot. What got you to that point? Like, you have to dig deep. I've had to dig deep. Not only was it those 4 items, but I was like really dealing with a lot of crap. I still am dealing with a lot of crap. I still have to be really intentional about how I deal with my everyday shit. How do I deal with family stuff, family dynamics? How do I deal with work? How do I deal with my businesses? How do I fit those things in so that my life has an essence of peace, more peace to it? Because what I was doing back in really up until 2021 was not serving me. I was not the best version of myself. And I'm constantly trying to become, not only for my family, but for myself, the best version of myself, the healthiest. I want to be here a long time. I want to be here to care for my family and see my son have kids and beyond. I want to be here. And if we are not thinking like more comprehensively about how we're going to take care of ourselves, we can't take care of anybody else. Like, we just can't. I don't want to sludge around in a depression or highly anxious state day in and day out. And the things that I have to like think about now while I'm undergoing this medication, and you may not have it for long. Some people might have it forever. Some people might not have it for long at all. Their insurance might not be able to provide it for them longer term, or I don't know what your circumstance is. But I would encourage you to like think about what got you there. Think about what you're going to do next, and what does that like everyday lifestyle and life look like for you. It's something that I would say you need to be proactive about, because you don't want to end up where you were at the beginning. Maybe for some people, this medication has been a new lease on life. I know it has been for me, and I'm more excited about things that I want to do in the future. I want to do, make a career change again. I want to do things with my family. I want to like go on vacation and take pictures, like take a photo of me and my family on vacation, and not be like, oh my God, I look so gross. I look miserable. I don't want to live that life anymore. And I'm sure you don't either. So just a couple things I've been thinking about, just a couple things I want to share with you. It is a journey. Some people have to integrate medications other than Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro. Some people have to take antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds. It's so individualized. It's so different for everyone. And so I just want you to be thoughtful about that, and like maybe start thinking about what might be next for you. What gets you excited? You know, you might lose weight, figure out that like you have so much more life to live, and that you want to start a new business, explore dating again, take your kids on a big vacation. There's so many things that I want for you guys, and I know that they're the same things that I want for myself. And so it's just something that's been weighing on my mind, and I'm so open to your feedback. Like I want to hear like, what do you do? What are your plans? Like, what are you planning for yourself? How does your life look when you are successful on this? And go beyond the medication, go beyond the weight loss. Like I'm genuinely curious. And the thing that I love about this community is that everybody is so damn nice and supportive. And if they're not, I just delete them and block them. I want to know, like, what is it that you want for yourself? Like, tell me. Shoot me a DM in Insta, Anna McKenna Official. Shoot me an email. Join my newsletter, anna-mckenna.com. Like, I want to continue the conversation. I'd like to hear more about what you want for yourself. Make it a great day. Spring is here. I hope everybody's well. Take care.